right, 1 o'clock. I hereby call this meeting to order. We need an approval of today's agenda.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, today's agenda is approved. Looks like the afternoon's good for staff. There's more here than I've ever seen, so. All right, new business. Collection System Project Manager.
Before we do that, I just want to make sure that we approve the minutes from last time.
Oh, I didn't. Wow, I gotta get somebody to take over this high-paying job. All right, I need approval of last meeting's minutes.
I make the motion, we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
There you go, we got it.
Each got our name in the
It was just a test to see if anybody was paying attention.
So like you said, Collection System Project Manager is first on our list. We're actually seeking your approval to establish minimum qualifications for this position, which is a new position in the capital management division of Public Works. The person hired for this position will manage the development and implementation of capital projects associated with wastewater collection system, along with other capital improvement projects as directed. Okay, so if
Okay.
you turn your page over to page 2, so the minimum qualifications we are looking seeking approval for would be, we would like this candidate to have a bachelor's degree in engineering, project management, or closely related technical field, and 7 years of experience in the field of engineering, construction, public works, or program management, including 2 years of project management experience, and then have a valid driver's license, maintain that throughout duration of employment. Then we have our standard background and residency requirements.
So who was doing this before? Why is this needed now?
Sure, actually, I'm gonna call Clay Merritt.
Oh, hi Mayor, this is Public Works Director. Sorry. Currently right now we have a consent decree with the Iowa City DNR, and we have to go through a series of conditions that they have for the city of Davenport. One of those is using one prepared for our sewer system. What we've done in the past is kind of piecemeal I guess you could say, the duties of this job through multiple people's jobs. But one of the things we wanted to do now is actually centralize this to ensure that we're being most efficient and effective with our resources. So we're combining the need for a project manager position by also having someone that's a little bit more elevated from the typical construction project management position. They can then also then do development as well. So kind of taking pieces from other jobs and putting it into one so we can be more efficient.
So this has, so this is an additional employee.
It's a repurposing of an existing full-time equivalency, so an FTE. So it's taking a job now and repurposing it.
Okay. And then the qualifications, you've got quite a group. Mostly the minimum qualification is obviously a bachelor's degree and at least some work in the field.
Correct.
Which a project manager may not be anything to do with.
So with
This
this
field.
position, it would be a promotional position. So when we did look at the minimum qualifications, we looked at the position under it.
Yes.
And because this would be a step increase, so that's why we do have the added qualifications in the collection system manager position.
So you anticipate this being a promotion?
This will be a promotional position, yes.
Oh, okay.
Gina, I have a question about both this job and the next one, the engineering process coordinator. Just, you list here on, for salary an hourly as well as an annual. Is this a salary? These are both managerial positions.
They will be, it should be salary. So when I do make the job posting, it will be the salary as opposed to the hourly.
So they're not eligible for overtime.
That is correct.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Sure. Any other questions?
Okay.
So next up is our engineering process coordinator. So the engineering process coordinator is a new position in the engineering division of Public Works. This civil engineering technology, construction management, or other closely related fields, and 2 years of experience reading and interpreting construction documents and survey exhibits. They do need to have a valid driver's license, and again, our background and residency requirements. Questions?
A couple of things. I guess one is that significantly less educational requirements for this one than the other one. Though the salary is, not really that much. It's certainly less, but it's not that much less.
Correct. So with the other position, it's going to be more specialized for that collection system. And did you want to go ahead and explain this position real quick? Perfect.
So currently we have, currently, the salary for this position is coming from an existing position that we have in our public works department. It's right-of-way manager, or excuse me, not the right-of-way manager, it's a real estate manager, I'm sorry. That individual is retiring, and so we're taking the opportunity to look at our processes today, figure out once again how to be more efficient and effective with positions. So this particular new job will take on the duties of that real estate person. So the acquisition of easements and right-of-way needed for construction projects, this person will take those on, as well as looking at how we can be more efficient in our engineering process. So one of the reasons, or one, happy to give several. For instance, so any and all plans that come in through the city, whether they're city projects, so trail projects, or street projects, or if they're private development, so subdivision development is a good example, they have to come through the city for review. So we have a civil engineer too currently overseeing that engineering process. That's a highly specialized position with someone who has a substantial amount of education and experience doing that coordination effort. That should be, if, instead doing actual design projects, this person will help the coordination efforts. Engineers will also look at the projects and utilize their specialized skills, but this will allow someone to handle the coordination between multiple divisions to get responsive, and then allow our engineers to do the specialized training that we hire them to do.
Is that what you mean by implements day-to-day processes?
Yes, it could be. It's one of them. So the process is what we call a G-plan, is electronic submission process. They would do that. So they'd be coordinating with the different engineers with our different divisions to ensure that the public works department is adequately and timely providing timely responses to plans that are coming in to ensure that anything built in the city is up to our standard specifications.
Okay. At least you're a little more clear than the description. I have to say, when it started to read, a lot of words, but
Yeah.
Yeah, another one is our assessment process. So we have one of the things the city offers is our alley assessment. So every year we go out and look to see whether or not people wish to participate. And you can imagine that generates quite a bit of conversation between our staff and people who are interested in the program. Currently, that's being managed by a licensed engineer. Once again, same thought process. That process could be managed by this new position.
I have no idea what the alley
So
thing is. I don't have an alley in my house.
Well, if you did.
I was gonna volunteer mine.
Yeah.
If you did, you'd be, for residential properties, they do 25% cost share program. So the city will pay 75% for your alley to get replaced, and we'll manage the design and the construction, and we can abate your 25%.
You mean like to
over time.
resurface it or whatever?
Resurfacing, reconstruction, whatever is required. But that's part of the cost share program is that we need the willing participation of the people who are adjacent property owners. And so walking all the neighbors through that process, which is a fairly lengthy process because it's an assessment process, and then we follow state code, it's just a time-consuming manner. Currently, we have a licensed engineer doing that. Once again, we want to ensure that our highly specialized personnel are doing the highly specialized personnel things that they were trained to do. And so the actual walking our residents through this process would be handled by this individual who doesn't have to be a licensed engineer.
How does a person apply for that, or I guess a neighborhood would apply
For the program?
Yeah.
So we actually, the last, I think, 2 years, we started something new, and we actually have an application window. So the city will come out and we'll do communication through all of our online platforms of saying, hey, this program is available. Here is everything it entails. We've actually opened up the commercial give us a call, and then we'll walk you through that process as we go through. And then we have a window that closes. Once it closes, we go through a fairly lengthy stage process for assessments and design, and then we report into construction next year.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
So this position, I guess I should say, then it seems like the person does a lot of negotiating and interpersonal ones, perhaps more than what an engineer would.
That's correct. You need a fair amount of interpersonal skills to be able, whether it's negotiating easements and following. We have a process in place. They just follow the process, but then having that face-to-face negotiation with property owners. They need to do that. They need to have the interpersonal skills to meet with an engineer who specializes in stormwater calculations, with an engineer who specializes in roadway or traffic engineering, or our clean water manager, or stormwater component, and to make sure that they're timely so that we're getting developers responses back to ensure that they're building to our standards. So a lot of it is interpersonal skills and ensuring that they can communicate effectively what we're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So next on the list is park supervisor. This is actually it will be a promotional position within our parks department, and it is a current position, so we're just looking to update some of the minimum qualifications. If you see here, on the very bottom of page 1, originally they needed to have a bachelor's degree, but to open up that candidate pool, we would like to have them have an associate's degree, because our management position in parks does need a bachelor's degree. So we're lessening the qualifications for that, and it will need to be in recreation, turf management, natural resources, or a closely related field. Then if you flip that page over, so right now, it's more of a language cleanup. We had obtained and maintained an Iowa pesticide applicator certification within 1 year of employment. We're changing that to appointment, especially with this being a promotional position.
Explain the difference.
For appointment/employment,
You got rid of appointment, or employment's scratched out, and appointment is what's in.
So if I were to be promoted, my 1 year of employment would be from the date, what we could possibly take this as 1 year from the date I originally started with the city. But if we're promoting somebody, they're going to be appointed to that
Okay.
position. Okay. So then we are adding in obtain and maintain certified pool operator certification or equivalent certification within 1 year of appointment. We've actually crossed out the driver's license original information and cleaned that language up and just state must meet a valid driver's license and maintain that duration of employment, since we've opened up the residency to Illinois residents as well. And then of course add the background check with that is standard language as well. Any questions? Okay. Next, sewer maintenance worker. This is a promotional position in the sewer division of Public Works. We would like to open up our candidate pool, but also bring this position in line with the position below it. So a laborer, which would be the step down from sewer maintenance worker, requires to have a high school diploma or GED equivalent. So we would like to add that to the job description for qualifications. If you flip over, we're going to clean up the driver's license lingo and put down must possess a valid Class B CDL with air brake endorsement. Originally, you needed to have a tanker endorsement when you applied. However, we would like to give the applicant 6 months to obtain that tanker endorsement for this position. And then on the following line, bringing the language of CDL up to date with the rest of the positions where all CDL personnel are subject to federal motor carriers random drug and alcohol program.
I don't have a problem with any of it, but I guess just a question, if you have this person that's hired and doesn't have the tanker endorsement, for example, are there enough other qualified people employed by the city that this wouldn't be an undue burden on them?
You are correct. So when we do change these minimum qualifications,
interfere or interrupt with operations, so it doesn't put them behind schedule. So yes, there would be plenty of personnel that would be able to do this without it.
Okay.
Okay, next.
For me?
You want to, we want to approve those first. All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve the presentation.
I make the motion.
Second.
I forgot what I was going to say.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. You threw me off. Okay. Old businesses in between. Any old business? All right, let's move along. Certification lists, please. Kind sir.
Gentlemen, so the last list I brought before you was last December, so it's been a minute. I'm Scott. Good to see you all. So let's talk police officers. So we did something a little bit different this time. I opened applications on January 6th, and I have not closed them. So what we've done in the past is we've had defined time dates, time frames for every part of our processes. This time, I've just left it open. And there's been several advantages to that, and I'll explain those in just a minute. But since January 6th, when I opened it, through at least January 1, just to give you some sort of time frame, we had 83 individuals apply, 62 were qualified, so 62 met our minimum qualifications. We've had 7 withdraw, 32 have yet to schedule their testing, but between now and July 11th, I have 6 dates that we've already selected as testing dates, and we've got 16 that are scheduled to test. The other 32, Captain Gil Prohl over at the police department has been making contact via phone with all of those to find out what are their intentions, because we do want to get as many people through the process as possible, because we do have several openings. So far, 12 candidates have passed the physical ability testing and were invited to take the written examination, which is the second part of our process. 2 have failed the written examination. So one of the benefits to this process, and I'll stop here, is in the previous timeframes, if anyone failed either the physical ability or the written examination, they would be disqualified immediately. Then they would have to wait until we opened up the next hiring process for them to retest. This time, they can go right back into the mix and go reschedule for a future date. So if they can work on their physical ability and their performance, they can schedule a date in the future, come back and try it again. The written exam, there's a caveat with the written exam. There's only 3 versions, A, B, and C of the written exam, and you can only take one of the versions or all 3 versions within a 12-month period. So if they take all 3 versions and don't pass, they do have to wait until they hit that 1-year mark to retake the previous version. So there's a little caveat there. But this is a advantage to the candidates where they don't have to wait until we reopen the next process. They can get right back in. We still kind of have them interested and it's kind of a captive audience. So that's an advantage that I'm seeing here. So 10 passed the written examination and were invited into our background and polygraph phase. 8, we did have 1 withdraw because he took a position with another agency. 8 have failed the background investigation for various reasons, and that's since January. We had 1 pass the background and went to the final interview, and that individual is on the list that you will approve today. And they actually start on Monday, and they will be headed to the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy in May. So we still have a process going. Applications are still open. The next academy is August 28th, so I'll be before you in the coming months with future list, with future police officers that will be going to the August 28th Police Academy. So I'm happy with the process so far. I wish I had more than 1 on the list. I understand that, but it's a good one, and we're only going to put the good ones on the list. And I'm confident that we're going to have several more. So probably in December, I'll close the 23 process, and in January, I'll open the 24 process, and I have every intention of probably keeping that open as well, a continuous process.
Quick question.
Yes,
8
Toby.
failed
Yes.
the polygraph test.
Well, he failed the background.
For the background.
So the
check.
background in polygraph, that's a whole
Okay,
overall encompassing thing.
Okay.
I won't go into specific details, but we run a very complete, very comprehensive background investigation. And for all intents and purposes, and that's because we're putting these people in positions of extreme authority within our
sure,
community,
sure.
of course.
It just seems that that's a high number.
Well, that's since
Every-
January though.
Okay,
So that, you know, intentional omissions on the background questionnaire or intentional omissions to conceal something on an application is something that is disqualifiable.
Sure.
The discovery of criminal activity that was not discovered, or the discovery of a hit and run within the time frame, that's a disqualifying activity. So, yeah, these are all solid disqualifiers.
okay.
I guess, so our requirements are the same as other municipalities in Iowa?
For the most part, yeah, yep.
I guess the other part is just, it's amazing somebody would apply that knows they're gonna get bounced. So I don't see a problem with the process, it's
Yeah,
just
I have no
sometimes
comment on
some
that.
people.
That'll be a smart aleck comment, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I wonder the same thing, Jared. Yep, I wonder the same thing.
How many do we need right now?
About 10 to 12. So I'm chipping away ever so small, but yeah, we're getting there.
Okay,
So, thank you. I'll be before you again in the coming months.
good,
Okay.
good.
Thank you. Oh, the stats, I'm sorry.
Okay, one list down, 5 to go. Okay, so we have our Riverfront Community Engagement Coordinator position. It's an entry-level position in the finance department, and we had our 30-70 split. So applicants need a bachelor's degree in public or business administration, political science, communications, marketing, hospitality, or other related field, and 2 years of experience as an event planner or program manager. They need to have a valid driver's license, and then we have our residency and background information. So we had 62 applicants. 33 of those were qualified and were invited to the written exam. 1 withdrew, 13 did not respond, and then 6 scored below 70%, leaving us with 13 candidates passing the written, and they were invited to the interview. 2 scored below 70%, leaving us with 11 candidates that are now on the list to be certified. And our stats. Okay. Questions? Okay. Transit operator, it's an entry-level position in the transit division of Public Works. Our written exam was weighted at 100%. So applicants need to have 6 months of experience in the operation of a vehicle on public thoroughfares, possess their Class B CDL with air brake and passenger endorsements, and then pass a physical and background check, and again, residency requirements.
This is a bus driver.
It is a bus driver, yes.
Okay.
So we had 12 applicants, 6 were qualified and invited to the exam, 1 did not show. So the 5 that did show passed the exam and are on the list to be certified. Okay, and then our stats. And if there's no questions, I'll move forward. Next is our engineering design and project manager position, which is an entry-level position in the capital management
Excuse me,
division.
can I just take a step back?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Just looking at it, there's a lot of females.
Yes.
I mean, I guess that usually, seems unusual to be that strong towards females.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
A quick question about the transit operator. What is the wage scale for transit? Because I deal tangentially with the Durham services, and I know they just got a huge raise. So I'm just curious what the pay scale is for transit. You just give me a range. I'm just
So
curious.
here's our range here, and I will say
Okay.
that out of all of the bargaining units, transit actually maxes out much quicker than other bargaining
Okay.
units.
And these are all 40-hour-a-week positions, I'm assuming, or?
For the full-time, we do have part-time positions, but this is for the full-time
Gotcha.
position.
Okay,
Yep.
great, thank
Mhm.
you.
You're welcome. Okay. So again, our engineering design and project manager, which is the entry-level position in the capital management division of Public Works, and we had a 30-70 split. So candidates need a bachelor's degree in computer-aided design, drafting, or engineering, plus 4 years of experience in drafting and sub-professional engineering experience, including some project management experience, and then possess a valid driver's license. We had 6 applicants. 4 were qualified and invited to the written exam. 2 did not respond. 2 candidates passed the written and invited to the interview. 1 candidate did not pass the interview, leaving us with 1 candidate on the list to be certified. And stats.
This is a outside hire.
This is an outside hire, yes. It would be entry level, although internal candidates can apply for it as well.
Okay.
Okay, labor is an entry-level position in the street division of Public Works. And we had our 30-70 split, and it is part of the Teamsters Union. So for labor, they need to have a high school diploma or equivalent and possess a valid driver's license and be able to obtain their Class B CDL with air brake endorsement within 6 months of hire. And then again, we just have our standard language for physical background and residency requirements. We had 33 applicants. They were all qualified and invited to the written exam. 19 did not show. 14 candidates passed the written exam and invited to the interview. 1 did not show to the interview, leaving us with 13 candidates that are on the list to be certified today, since they all passed the interview. And stats. Okay. Next up is our street maintenance worker, which is a promotional position in the street division of Public Works, and our written exam was weighted at 100%. So candidates need 1 year of experience as a general laborer and then possess their Class B CDL with air brake endorsement. We had 5 applicants. They were all qualified and invited to the exam. All 5 passed, leaving us with 5 on the list to be certified. And our stats.
Maybe an irrelevant question, but like this one here where there's a 100% is a written exam. Now, if you had somebody that passed the written exam, but they were just a rotten individual that didn't get along with anybody and nobody wanted to work with them, it's tough luck, you got the job.
So I can tell you that the majority of people, since street maintenance worker is a promotional position,
Right.
went through the labor testing, which did include that interview process. We would go ahead and probably include an interview for the next step up, especially to prepare them for a supervisory role, to ask them more supervisory questions in that interview.
But as a street worker, you deal with it.
It would be handled properly depending on the situation.
Okay. All right, just wondering.
Yeah.
Going back to the Riverfront Community Engagement Person, what, are they actually booking events? Are they just making sure it all goes smooth? What would, if I was doing that, what would be my level of activity?
Sure. Actually, Courtney Jones, who's our hiring manager, can actually explain that.
I don't think it was in there.
Hi, Courtney Jones, Administrative Services Manager. So that person would actually be doing a combination of both, whether that be creating new events to bring along the riverfront and or helping with some of our more traditional events like Red, White, and Boom, and even this year with RAGBRAI.
How close to the riverfront does an event have to be to qualify for this?
That's a great question. anywhere along the 9 miles of riverfront. So typically, I think the easiest way to think about it is, if it was in Leclerc Park, that could certainly be a qualifying riverfront event.
But if you were on Locust Street, it wouldn't.
You'd have to be right.
Okay.
Have to drive up.
You'd have to,
to it.
yes.
Safe.
Yeah.
You'd have to really maneuver.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Okay, any other questions? All right, entertain a motion to approve the certification list.
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so approved. Any other business anybody has? Well, you shook your head fast. Holy cow.
They got a meeting at 1:30. Who figured it'd
Yeah.
go this long?
Sure. Okay, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Wow, we took